Write down every person that you want to meet in your life. I put like Iman Godzi, Ty Lopez, and like all these things. Within 2 years, I had dinner with all these guys. We're tripping balls right now, both of us, living something so impermanent. And at the end, we don't know what's gonna happen, and most importantly, we don't keep anything after this life. People say, "Oh, I'm scared of these like witches and people that can cast spells." You're casting spells with your thoughts every day. Everything that you think, you are literally manifesting right now. You say, "This guy's an idiot." You're projecting that outwards, so you're gonna attract more idiots. Everybody's an idiot. You start seeing everybody as an idiot. Just zoom out enough, and you'll realize that we're little ants on a floating rock in the middle of space. So it's not really serious.
Yeah.
And I was very careful. I said, "Dad, never tell me about things that don't work out. I don't need that energy." What is the soul calling I have deep inside? I was questioning death since I was 12. I was just waking up in the middle of the night, asking my mom, like, what happens when we die? I'm so scared of it. But after some time, especially with the ayahuasca, when I drank at 15 the first time, my whole world collapsed. I had my first experience of death. I studied in a little hut by myself every day, drinking ayahuasca, applying frog poison to myself. And then for 3 years, I started sharing my journey from 15 to now, and reached over 500 million people online through that. And now I'm here sharing my message and also building companies that align with that mission. If me and you died today, and I had final words to share.
All right, we're here with Alex Visions, and we're going to have an amazing deep dive into his world. So great to have you here, man.
Appreciate it.
I'd love to know a bit more about yourself and then your background, and we can get straight into it.
Yeah, so my journey started when I was 15 years old. I dropped out of school at 12, and for 3 years I was traveling, meeting very wealthy billionaires and millionaires, and I got exposed to the material world very early, like very high level, and then that transitioned me into feeling very depressed. At 15, I was just like, I don't really see the point in missing out. What is the soul calling I have deep inside? I was questioning death since I was 12. I was just waking up in the middle of the night, asking my mom, like, what happens when we die? I'm so scared of it. But after some time, especially with the ayahuasca, when I drank at 15 the first time, my whole world collapsed. I had my first experience of death. And after that, I went on the journey of living in the jungle at 16. I studied in a little hut by myself every day, drinking ayahuasca, applying frog poison to myself. And then for 3 years, I started sharing my journey from 15 to now, and reached over 500 million people online through that. And now I'm here sharing my message and also building companies that align with that mission.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what made you want to leave school at the age of 12?
My parents dropped me out. We were supposed to get vaccines, but we didn't want to. I realized that everything that the government pushes, if you think it's mandatory, most importantly, that's also a way to control you. And I realized that early on with the help of my parents. So everything I do now is considered controversial.
Yeah. I'd love to know a bit more about your background. So what do your parents do? What made them sort of push in this direction?
My mom is just like a house mom with my dad. They were broke. They moved from Russia and Ukraine to Canada when they were very young.
Yeah.
And then my mom was very depressed. My dad was also depressed. And depressed in the sense of we had everything materially, but spiritually the family was disconnected. We fulfilled the desires of a perfect household. We had everything. Nice houses all over the world, but deep down empty of like, what is God for us? We didn't go to church. We're atheists, all of us.
Yeah.
And my mom met a woman that was very happy for the first time, and she asked what she does, and the woman said, I did ayahuasca. And my mom decided to try, and then she got my dad into it. And a year after, I got into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your dad, what did he do?
He had a shisha company, a very big one in China.
Nice. Okay.
And that's pretty much how we were able to travel and afford our life. But then after ayahuasca, he abandoned his shisha company. And we moved everything to Portugal, where now we live. And we have a retreat center where we do ayahuasca a few times a year there. We fly our shaman out and he serves for all of us.
That's amazing. So he was growing the company while you were in Canada, and then that's before the age of 12. And then once you realized you wanted to experience a more spiritual path, you moved over to Portugal?
We moved to Dominican Republic first.
Okay.
We built a really big villa, and that's where my mom had her first ayahuasca in Dominican.
Nice. And then, so was it sort of your mom that was the beacon for the rest of you guys?
Absolutely.
And what did she get you into in the beginning?
So at 15, I was in London, and I was supposed to live with my aunt, help her just with groceries and living in the London life. And then the first day I come, I discovered Nonviolent Communication. That's my first awakening. NVC, have you heard of it?
No.
NVC is a practice where you basically understand that behind everything we do in our life, we have these underlying needs. These needs that we carry that are like connection, love, intimacy, purpose, all these things that actually are at the core of every action. And every action is called a strategy. So when we realize our base needs for life, and every thing that we do is actually a reflection of those needs being met or unmet, it helped me put that on paper. And I wrote down my needs for connection, purpose, love, support. And in London, I had none of these needs met. So the moment I landed there, I wrote it down on a paper and I started crying on the paper. I said, wow, I feel empty here. None of my needs are met. And then I thought about moving back to my parents in Dominican, and all of my needs were met. So within 2 days of being in London, I was supposed to be there for 6 months. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave. And a month later, I was already drinking ayahuasca for my first time.
Damn. So you went to London. How old were you then?
15.
Damn, okay. And how come, so I can imagine you've learned a lot since you were a very young age. How do you feel like you have an excess of experience for your age compared to where you are at now? Because I know most 16-year-olds, most 12-year-olds even, are not going down a spiritual path. And do you feel like this is an awakening, something that the universe has called for you to experience and help teach other people? What sort of how have you looked at your experiences and sort of broken it down in your eyes?
All of us are connected because all of us get born and all of us die. That's something universal all of us share. In that process of discovering what we want to do in our life, we have to acknowledge that we're here not forever. That's a very deep knowing that all of us have, that there's something unstable about life, which means that we're going to leave one day. And by acknowledging that process for myself, I got to unleash what it means to live in a game. Every day I wake up, I realize that we're tripping balls right now, both of us, living something so impermanent. And at the end, we don't know what's going to happen. And most importantly, we don't keep anything after this life. And by acknowledging that fact, that this is an impermanent experience, it liberated me to realize everything I do is a game. So whatever I think is impossible, that's just my mental construct I've created. And for me, the mental pattern that I always share with people, especially just to explain what awakening is, it's realizing that if you right now leave your body and you die, the whole experience of your life also ends. Every person, everything that you have, the whole game finishes. So the only thing that is actually real is nothing. So you're the one constantly creating your reality. And by understanding that everything else around you is just your mental projection. So the power lies within understanding that to such an extent that you start playing the whole game as a video game. Yeah.
Wow. And so you had your first ayahuasca experience at 15?
Yeah.
What was it like? And first of all, I'd love to know, because I haven't done it myself and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. What's the process leading up to it? What do you have to do? And what even is it exactly?
Ayahuasca is a indigenous drink that they've drank for thousands of years. It's very well known across the South America. And when we drink ayahuasca, it releases DMT, which is the same thing we release when we die, when we get born, and when we dream just a little bit. in the process of drinking ayahuasca, you start realizing that the spiritual world is basically death. That's the whole thing of realizing spirituality, is you realize the impermanence of your existence. And when I drank ayahuasca for my first time, I got to understand that I felt in that experience at 15 that I'm dying right now. So it's like, we have this thought of, I'm going to die one day. It's scary.
Yeah.
What if that thought is no longer, I'm going to die, but I'm dying right now? Right now, imagine, close your eyes, and you're like, I'm about to die right now. Everything's about to go away. My business, my family, everything I think I have, time, the future, everything's gone. Who am I now? What am I? And when I drank the cup, I started dissolving everything I thought I am. I let go of my parents. I let go of all my dreams and all my desires. And after that, I just entered the space of infinite nothingness. And it broke me completely. I realized that I'm just one with everything. And in that process, when I came back into my body, I just started crying very deeply. Because I realized that I'm alive again. Like, I literally felt like I just got another life.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually don't own this life. We don't own this experience. We're here by something higher. And that's when I started realizing spirituality is not a book. Spirituality is your experience of understanding your life and the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hear a bird for the first time after my trip. I just cried for 4 hours just listening to a bird. Because the bird it makes a sound, it's alive. And you're actually on the experience of life. And the opposite of that is the death. So this impermanent nature is the greatest liberation. Don't hold on to anything in your life. Actually realize they're all tools. Every person, every experience, just for you to deeper understand yourself.
So after the first experience of ayahuasca, what was your immediate thoughts, the immediate things you wanted to cherish, look into, focus on? Did it change the perspective?
I just wanted to share what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1,000 followers, and I made one video of myself dancing, and the song was like, ayahuasca, ta-ta. And I posted online. It was like 10-second video, and in the caption I wrote, I did ayahuasca at 15. This is what I realized, that death is not the end. We're here for an impermanent experience. Life is a game. And within a week, I had like 5 million views. The next video got 10 million views. And people were just triggered so much because I'm sharing something that's considered taboo in the Western culture,
Mm-hmm.
to transcend life at a young age. But I realize it's the greatest gift because many people want to understand deeper life,
Mm-hmm.
not for the superficial things that you get from it, but from the journey itself. And I flipped the script on what it's like to be normal, being young. And I just kept sharing the journey.
And how's everything been going since then?
Since then, actually the third time I drank ayahuasca, I still didn't post anything because I drank one in Dominican and then I drank 3 in Colombia with a day split, just the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first ceremony, ayahuasca just shows me millions of people, like millions. And I couldn't count the heads. It was just like enormous crowd. And it said, these are all people watching you right now. You're here as a messenger of something that is truly going to liberate many people. Your perspective. And literally a week later, I posted that video and it just blew up. So I kept sharing that journey. And after some time, I started getting, of course, recognized on the street as people literally come to me every day now, just sit next to me every day and ask me questions about what's the point of their life, especially in the midlife stage, people 30, 40, they start having these questions stronger. It's the point of life where most people start realizing that life is about to go on the descent, the sunset. And many people want to know how to use this life fully and let go of all the fears. The only thing stopping everybody in this life is the fear, the fear of death. And all of that, every other fear is just a reflection of that. So by understanding that you're truly powerful, meaning you can just let go, you can just be yourself. And that process of just being yourself is the most attractive thing you can do in your life. Yeah. Everybody loves that. There's very, very little people that can actually liberate themselves to the point where they stop thinking of I so much. I want, I need, I want to have. Like, the most powerful thing I realized after this whole thing is like manifestation is the most simplest thing ever. Manifestation is literally me realizing that I am one with everything and then acting from a place of trying to be of service of something greater than myself. So flipping the script on me into everything. How do I want to help outside of myself? What do I want to do for other people? The greatest joy for us is not the self-pleasure. It's the giving of the truth that we hold. And all of us come with a gift. And to awaken that gift is the whole process, like the whole process for yourself. Yeah.
And as you mentioned earlier, are you familiar, or do you know what I've heard recently? The highest level of vibrational energy, or the highest level of energy in general, basically. Have you heard what it is? The highest level of frequency.
I would say for me it's service.
I think so. You know the 12 levels of consciousness.
Yeah.
And apparently at the very top is enlightenment, but the highest level of frequency you can get to is the authenticity part.
Yes.
And exactly as you said, instead of the I, how do you share and how do you be as authentic to yourself as possible to then therefore relate your human experience with everyone else's human experience and then share the amazing things that you've learned, right? So is that, to having done ayahuasca, is that what led you to realize you just want to share this amazing value with the rest of the world? Yeah.
Ayahuasca, it's the thing that broke me. Like, well, this mind is like the greatest gift, but also the greatest barrier to truly helping people. And you need to just detach from this head. There's so many practices I discovered that helped me just get out of this mind, constantly running towards something, constantly trying to get away from something. And inside of that is like equanimity, how to find inner peace in your life, which is what we want.
And what's those practices? How do you get to that?
Ayahuasca is like just one of the tools.
Okay.
And when I was 17, I did Vipassana for the first time. Have you heard of Vipassana?
No.
Vipassana is so for 10 days, I lock myself in this little room. You cannot have your phone. You cannot speak with anybody. No journaling, not even making eye contact. You're eating one meal a day and you're meditating 10 to 15 hours every day for 10 days straight. And by just focusing on the breath of the nostrils, air coming in, air coming out, it's such a powerful practice to realize that your breath is actually the point of enlightenment for you. All of this right here inside is the tool. So with Vipassana, it's just a slower ayahuasca journey, but you get to the same place.
Yeah. And you reach that DMT activation in your brain.
At day 7, I transcended my life again.
And so what's it like for the first few days? Is it just...
It's just suffering. It's just going through over your head, like running away from something and chasing something. Yeah. And the simplest form of that is, are you able to sit still with yourself for like 20 minutes? And every day I make a practice. I set a timer for 20 minutes. I meditate every day for 20 minutes for the past like 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What goes through your head in the first few hours, the first few days?
I want to leave. Everybody wants to leave.
Yeah.
So much amazing things out there in your life to do. And I wanted pancakes. I wanted to have a girl. I wanted to pleasure. I wanted everything, but you're not allowed to do anything. Yeah. Except just sit with yourself.
And then does it start to just fade away? Or you kind of have to conquer it?
Oh, you have to really go deep inside. Every day it's a battle.
Yeah.
Again, you versus you. You go to a place that is literally helps you face yourself.
That's good. And then at day 7, what was that moment in which you realized started transcending, reaching enlightenment?
Just stop everything. Like I I had to realize that, again, the only reason I'm suffering is because I don't accept the law of nature. And the law of nature is that everything always changes. Nothing is impermanent. But craving something outside of this present moment is the only thing that will get me into suffering. It's like, if you can be content with exactly who you are, where you are in your life, you're free. Like literally, like right now. The moment you want something outside of this present moment, even the littlest bit, all of a sudden your projection into the future goes, and you lose the power right now. The only power we truly have is to be fully in alignment with this moment by not wanting anything and by not running away from anything. Like all that fear is, all that negative energy that I've been having for so long, even to this day, now that I'm sharing that, I can remember, is just because I'm running somewhere every day, trying to get that thing, trying to get that material possession, not wanting that thing, trying to run away from that circumstance. That's the only place that suffering is. Outside of this present moment power I have.
Yeah. And how do you balance that in the modern world? Like, for example, how do you find Bali? Or how do you find going to a place like Canada or back to Canada or to Portugal? Or is it sort of there's certain bubbles in the world which allow you to just completely let go of everything? Or is it basically all down to yourself and you can let go and not really care about material possessions or whatever you're trying to chase? Is there a specific place, times, and it's very difficult, I can imagine, in the place we're living in right now. So how do you balance that?
It's having a daily routine, I think, is the most important thing. Like no matter what situation life puts me, I always try to find my center within what I can control, and everything outside of myself, I let it be. So movement practices for me is the best.
Yeah.
I always make sure I move every single day. The food I eat, I make sure I don't have anything that is just heavy, greasy. And I just go very deep into learning about this life. Everything is just my learning process.
Yeah.
So I have this thing where it's like, everything that happens to me, I try to find out what's the lesson in this. If it's a hard situation, I look at it from a third point of view of like, okay, if this keeps showing up, I need to learn something. It's like until you learn the lesson, it will keep showing up in your life. And I learned that every single time. So it's like I resist something, and then I see the result of it. Instead of blaming myself and saying, "This guy's an idiot," you completely screwed up. And then it happens again and again. Let's just say it's a lifestyle, or I keep coming back to the same place in myself, spiritually, financially, whatever. I need to understand that I need to learn a lesson here, and I need to put attention of what's actually happening. So I make sure that I always audit my life. I eat something I don't feel good, I audit it. Okay, this does not feel good for my body. I cut it out. I try something new. And the more I do that, to the point where I'm like, I feel amazing in my life. That's the whole process of learning how to live.
Yeah. And is it different for every person?
Of course, everybody has different systems.
Are there overall principles which are applicable for the general or most people?
Yeah.
And what would you say those are?
It's a very deep question for everybody to understand. I think step one is getting rid of everything that is draining your energy. Energy leaks are huge. For me, scrolling on social media is a big energy leak. Every time I feel I use it, I always have to question why, and the question never aligns with the action. It's a waste, period. Speaking with people that are constantly in their own mental loops, that's an energy leak right there. Acknowledging those and getting rid of them really fast. Finding myself and giving myself time is important. Every time I give myself space, just for myself, whether that's a walk, a morning meditation, using my space as much as I can, whether that's if you have a beach next to you, if you have a park next to you, always take time to connect with nature. That's something everybody can do. And move, simple movement practices, Flow 60, Human Garage, both practices inside of Keyblock that we're going to have. This is my mission right now. It's to also create Keyblock.
And what exactly is Keyblock?
I wish I had the stickers here, but Keyblock is basically actually I haven't Keyblock right here. I brought it. I brought the sticker on the.
Yeah, I've been appreciating the
Which
The
one? Which one do
updates.
you like? This is the cards. So we're launching the cards end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Keyblock is a weapon for society to use to get rid of the constant addiction of scrolling on social media. This January, I had the idea of creating a physical barrier for people that when they scan with their phone, it will block off all their distracting apps. And all they'll be left with is practical tools to change their life inside of the app as well.
Mm-hmm.
So collaborating with leading experts in the movement area, in the meditation, breathwork, and basically creating an ecosystem where people use these types of products to scan with their phone and completely lock off, let's just say put it in a bag,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're free. So basically giving a key for people out of that addiction.
So you just tap it on your phone
Mm-hmm.
and it takes over your whole phone.
It
And-
blocks off all the distracting apps.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then you can only unblock it by tapping the actual card.
Yeah.
And so therefore this is like the key
Mm-hmm.
to, I see.
Yeah, so with the stickers that we're launching right now this month, the whole process is that you can put it on your notebook, on your computer, you have to scan it. Then that object is now your point of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an app that you just download and then you can bypass like screen time.
Yeah.
And the second part, of course, is the existential question of what do I do with my life after I've blocked the distractions?
Yeah.
And we offer that solution, which has never been done before.
So this is a physical manifestation of your distractions.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. How does it work? You have like a team of developers? You have
Yeah,
people
we have
building it out?
seven developers in India, and then we have 2 factories in China, one for the cards and one for the stickers.
Nice. Well, you're asking which one I like more. I think this one represents what you're doing even better because it's super clean, no distractions, no other smaller text.
Yeah, but I mean, like
What do you think?
the quality, like you feel that this is like a rigid one. You feel like it's more
Mm.
like tactile, and then this one is
I
a
like
bit
this
more
quality. I like.
smooth. You like this?
I do like this smooth. Yeah,
a bit more premium. Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah.
That's a really nice concept. Honestly, what made you come up with it? What was the story behind it?
December 30th, New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in my room by myself. I didn't go out for the New Year's celebration. And I was meditating. I said, what do I want to do this year? If I had 1 year to commit to a project that was not a short-term project, like I had many companies before, but what if I build something that's actually going to change humanity? What would that be? And I've heard of brick. It was a very popular physical block that people would use and then they put on their fridge. But you cannot travel with the thing. It's like bulky and like very inconvenient. I tried. I'm like an entrepreneur. I need to be on the go. And then I heard of Bloom. I was like, oh, the card exists. I'm like, great.
Mm-hmm.
But then the biggest comment is like, I keep losing the damn thing. And at one point, yes, it's good. But then if you have to have like 3 emergency unblocks, then you're also done. You constantly have to keep buying the thing. So with these cards, they're fully trackable with Find My. So you never lose the thing. So you can always be in control of your wallet. You can just put it in your wallet. You'll never lose your wallet too.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you can just block off the distractions.
I really like it. Really, really like the concept.
Yeah, so I think with the plant medicine journey that I'm on, I realized that, again, we have the power to create anything. Meaning, if you see something that's missing, like the problem-oriented guy that just sees, oh, this can be better, or this is a little missing link,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually need it yourself. Like, I needed this thing. That's why I created it.
Yeah.
And that's where the genius comes in. It's like, so many of my friends are like, Alex, I made 100K with the AI automation. I'm like, okay, but they're like, I do a rapé to them, and I'm like, bro, are you okay? They're like, my life is pretty hard, bro. And that's what I realized. It's really important. I get it. Of course, there's stages of people, but there's a stage that everybody can reach where they're doing something that they actually like, and I believe that's true because all of us have that freedom. Again, if you believe that you're in a game. Like literally right now, imagine I give you a phone and I say, play a Fortnite for me. You start playing Fortnite and now you have a character. You don't care how the character looks. You just try to upgrade it. How do you upgrade your character? You work out the character. He starts lifting weights. He starts going into the gym. You make sure he has experiences. You give him different maps, different quests. And then you want him to be the best. But you don't trash talk on your character. You idiot, you got killed. No, you keep trying, you keep evolving it. But then when your life here, you think you're going to live forever, but that's not true. You're actually also a character, but you have a POV shot of your life. So the whole point is to realize that you're in control every moment of your experience. Nothing outside of you, if you don't let it, will not determine your future. Only yourself. And that's so powerful to realize at any age, you know?
Do you think we're in a simulation?
100%, bro. I'm an alien.
Yeah.
We're in a deep simulation, man.
And what does that have tangible benefit? How do you outlook if we're in a simulation? How does that help you, or how are you supposed to look at life based on that?
That you're free. Like, you're free because you're alive, and you're also free because you're gonna die. Those two things are freedom. It's hard to look at that because life can feel very hard. People put a lot of weight on themselves, and then what? Does that help you? By feeling very heavy in your life. And that heaviness is just because you choose to look at your life in one lens, but you can just change the lens any moment.
Do you feel most people don't want to be free?
Because it's easier. It's a story. It's in the mind. If you tell yourself the story of I am this way, you're doing witchcraft to yourself. People say, "Oh, I'm scared of these like witches and people that can cast spells." You're casting spells with your thoughts every day. Everything that you think, you are literally manifesting right now. You say, "This guy's an idiot." You're projecting that outwards, so you're gonna attract more idiots. Everybody's an idiot. You start seeing everybody as an idiot. Everybody's so beautiful. Everybody's so smiling. Like, you know, this experiment, I really love it. It's like, right now, try to find something, everything that you see that is blue. Like, you know, look around, see what is blue, you know? Now close your eyes. Name one thing that was green.
The plants behind you? No, but I knew you were going to do that, but yeah.
But this is the interesting idea, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That whatever we focus on, it literally becomes a reality. A breakup can become your whole world. A failed business or a life circumstance can become your whole world.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where you can start looking at something else completely different, even if it can be a small thing, like an opportunity or something good happen in your life, just a little thing, but you give so much attention to it and that thing grows.
Yeah.
And grows and grows. And you realize, wow, there's so much beauty around. So at any moment, that's the switch. Changing what you focus on, you'll have way more of it.
And you said you've started multiple companies. You've gone through an entrepreneurial journey. What was the background? How did you start? What have you been building? My
uncle is the founder of Intelligent Change, the 5-Minute Journal. Have you heard of the 5-Minute Journal?
Is it a specific journal that has...
It's a gratitude journal with prompts.
Yeah.
And when I was very young, my uncle comes to me and he was just like, I'm going to take you around the whole world to travel. And I'm going to give you the experience of your life. He even said, like, write down every person that you want to meet in your life. I put like Iman Godzi, Tai Lopez, and like all these things. Within 2 years, I had dinner with all these guys. And as a 13-year-old that got to travel and see these things, my uncle showed me that what's possible. And having both sides, meaning I understand the spiritual world and I understand the material world, it helped me a lot because I can navigate both quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And in terms of businesses that I started, I think up until I made Keyblock, my intention was always still self-centered. Aside from making content about ayahuasca, I always wanted to know how to make money. And I don't talk about it as much, money, because I created Keyblock. This is the first time in my life that I made something that I just needed for myself. And I also knew that other people need it. That changes how you see opportunity. Because self-centered projects, self-centered desires are always going to fall short of your own limitations. because everything you're going to be attracting to get that thing, let's just say build that business, is going to be around me, my survival, and all the things around me. As for when I started changing my perspective and just said, I need this out, I realized that I need capital. This is not going to be a cheap project. I need to hire developers, employees. And that gave me the opportunity to see who can help me. And again, I started looking at other people in my circle, which turns out to be my uncle, to actually help me on a project. And because it was selfless in a way, the opportunity that came from it was also bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
So for me in business, the unlock I got in the past year, if you do projects only based on your self-centered needs, that project's going to fall short of your egotistical things that are in the way, blocking. And those desires are also going to be egotistical. How do I pay rent? How do I buy food? How do I do all these things? Versus when you start being a service of something beyond yourself, the level of energy you're going to have is going to be from giving to people. And the energy is the most magnetic thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm only thinking about myself and my desires, and I'm so in myself, everything that happens is my fault. Everything that goes my way is my win. And I hold so strongly these both things, and I'm so attached. I feel heavy, and whatever comes my way, I take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something beyond yourself, if it's meant to be, it will be there. Because it's so much greater. You're going to now be supported by the highest thing, which is God. This project is from God,
mm-hmm.
given to me to create.
Yeah. And what's been then the previous projects that you were building? And then how has that led to what you're building now with Keyblock?
The first time I did ayahuasca, I had a shaman serve me at Sananga, which is a very... you basically put eye drops in your eyes and it burns for like 15 minutes and you can't open your eyes. And the only benefit is that after you open your eyes, you can see. So you're just grateful that the pain stopped. I sold like 500 vials. It was great because I just like put it in my eyes and I got millions of views, just me like suffering. And then people were like 1% of people are like, I want it. And because it's millions of people, I sold. And then it transitioned to nail boards, even more suffering and more pain for people. And that still is like just have a conducer of pain at this point. And that also did pretty well. I made like, I think my first week, like over $1,000 just by launching it out of nowhere. But after I made Keyblock, the whole game changed. Investment came in and it became actually a business.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's important that I never quit, because if I start from my first business, which was the toilet paper company, I started when I was 10 years old, trying to make, it's called deja vu. You get a deja vu, but you get deja vu. Still a good idea, by the way. But all the way from that up until Keyblock, I think it's been like 16 businesses. Agency, and then working for myself, promoting my Instagram, affiliate deals, then Sananga, the nail boards, another agency, AI, and then Keyblock.
Nice. And when you were younger, were you always tapped into the entrepreneurial, for example, social medias or the entrepreneurial ecosphere?
Yeah, my dad's an entrepreneur, my grandma's an entrepreneur, my uncle's an entrepreneur, other uncle entrepreneur. Yeah. Everybody came from nothing, and everybody started something that sustains themselves without a boss.
Mm-hmm.
I think your environment plays a big role. And I didn't understand that until I realized that other people have limiting beliefs based on their environment.
Mm-hmm.
Your environment can literally determine your life very, very fast. Or you can determine your reality by just focusing on what you can do within your environment. But that's the next step of consciousness. Yeah. Victim, opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And is there a level above that?
The game master. You're playing a game and everything is as it is. Meaning like you're not forcing, you're just being.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a level above that?
Himalaya mountains.
Yeah. And after that?
Just zoom out enough and you'll realize that we're little ants on a floating rock in the middle of space. Mm-hmm. So it's not really serious.
Yeah. And then when going back to actually the point about reaching, would you say enlightenment through ayahuasca?
Self-awareness.
So there was ayahuasca, then the meditation for 10 days. You said there was a third one.
Community. Who you're around, what you talk about.
Yeah.
People are a big influence of us. Like we thrive. Like let's just say your feed right now on Instagram is also a reflection of what you're actually looking for. For example, I liked one picture of a Rolex. Now I get my whole feed is just Patek Philippe AP and Rolexes, and I'm just like, when is Keyblock coming out? Please. But and then the other one is nonviolent communication. That's the base for me. So understanding that all, like, you know, people have a conflict and they keep talking about strategies. You didn't wash the dishes. You're an idiot. I hate you. You should have been doing this better. Versus, this is a really cool framework. This is good. This one changed my life. Step 1, observation. You did this. Very like action, like in a book. They say you lifted the glasses, or you didn't take your laundry out. Observation without a judgment. You didn't leave a mess. You didn't take the laundry out. I felt, personal feeling. I felt very sad. I felt very discouraged that you did this. Step 3, need. I was really needing some support in that moment. I really needed personal needs, not what I needed you to do. I needed, just support. Request. Would you be open? It has to be positive, concrete, and doable. Would you be open to take the laundry out? This is nonviolent communication basis. And when we speak through this process, we mitigate any risk of conflict. So it becomes very human heart connection. And when I discovered that, bro, that's how communities thrive. That's how businesses thrive, is when we stop pointing, projecting, and we go deeper a layer into our feelings, needs, and create aligned strategies.
And is there a release of DMT in that as well? Because you mentioned around the ayahuasca, there's a release, and then the meditation
has, nonviolent communication. The deeper you go into this practice, I did a 10-day retreat, only NVC. People crying left and right. Because people could not express to their parents these things, and then people would role play as their parents, the trainers, and they would be able to hear the deeper things that those parents actually had inside that led them to punish those kids, to make the child feel like they were not loved. But deep down, there was those underlying needs, underlying feelings. And when those were expressed and that person can see that from that vulnerable place, the level of connection then becomes, oh, this person loves me. This person cares about me. Wow. And it breaks everything that no longer needs to be there.
And have you experienced that with your family?
Of course, with my family all the time. It's a very powerful practice.
And then I assume, are they also on the same wavelength or the same path as you at the moment?
Yeah, everybody drinks plant medicine. My 10-year-old brother drank ayahuasca. My 14-year-old brother drank ayahuasca. They're going to drink next month as well. Yeah, we all drink ayahuasca. Everybody does NVC. Everybody meditates. And yeah.
And around community, what is your approach to attracting that kind of community, attracting the highest level of entrepreneurs or spiritual minds or just people on really good energy wavelengths?
For me personally, is being clear about my values. My values is the treasure chest that allows me to go through life and not get lost and strayed away. When I see people, let's just say a value of mine is not drinking. I don't drink alcohol. If I see someone drinking alcohol, there's a level of separation that I'm very clear about, that I'm not going to go over that. Someone is very into just women and they just really need the sexual connection and they're just hungry for it. Deep inside of me, I don't really value that, because I understand the importance of being very clear as a man who your woman is and who is not your woman. So all these values are deeply rooted in me, especially plant medicine and spirituality. Like, I understand Christians, I understand Muslims, but if we drink ayahuasca, we'll understand each other better than any book. And you can keep your religion. That's not the problem. It's you going deep inside beyond any religion, understanding who you are.
And how do you find, so for example, with Iman or Tai Lopez, what was the story behind them?
in our relationship. Or
Yeah, so you're saying you're attracting them through what you're writing in the journal and what your goals are, the people you want to meet. What was the story that led to you actually meeting them?
Oh, my uncle introduced me to all of them. I didn't need to.
Okay.
But now, of course, now I'm in Bali, I get to do it myself.
Yeah.
Because I saw how my uncle moves, I studied his moves, and I realized this is what he does, and this is the results he gets. So I use a framework. It's just very simple.
Nice. And has your uncle been here in Bali?
Yeah.
Where is he at the moment?
He's in Ibiza right now. He's just traveling this whole month.
Nice. Okay. Because I'm curious about how you feel about the entrepreneur mindset, or basically the energy of the island of Bali. Because it's amazing things have happened since I've got here. And I'd love to know how you found it.
For me, Bali is it's a launch pad for your dreams, but it's also going to be a reflection of yourself. An island that is very abundant. You will experience an amplification of who you are and your desires. So anything in our life, let's just say money or being in a place that's very powered up, like here, are all reflections of what you hold inside. If you really need a lot of girls in your life and you were like miserable back in US or wherever you're from, you go to a place like Bali, that's just going to amplify that inner void that then you're going to try to manifest through getting a bunch of relationships. Just like if you were really business hungry in US and you just were in your little town and you moved to Bali, you're just going to amplify that desire if you're very clear about your intention of coming here. And that's with life. And every single day, you have an opportunity to move forward or stray away. And that's what every morning I close my eyes when I'm in my meditation. And when the timer rings, I close my eyes and I make a clear intention of the day. And every time I make an intention, I can go closer to the goal. People underestimate what they can do in a year, but overestimate what they can do in a day. And that's what I learned as well. Day by day actions form that trajectory. So it's very important that you're clear, especially if you're in a powerful place like here. Where are you going? And what is not yours? You try one day, you partied, and you the next 2 days you're just hungover and you can't focus on your business. Clearly, that's not what I want to do. So I'm very intentional with who I speak, what I do. That just comes from inner awareness, checking in with myself. How am I feeling? What is going on right now in me?
And what's the future vision? So I know you want to build out Keyblocks. And where do you see yourself? Because you've experienced such an immense amount about the universe, the world, at such a young age. Where do you see, let's say, Alex visions in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years?
In 10 years, I'm going to have 2 kids. I share that very publicly.
Boy, girl?
Boy.
Okay.
We'll see. God might have a different plan for me. Kids are important because kids show you who you are. They reveal more of yourself. And it's a responsibility that I know I want to take. In terms of business, very important that I'm aligned with the purpose of the business, especially because I'm fortunate enough to do. I understand many people don't have that luxury of doing what they actually want for whatever reason. But building something that I actually care about. And most importantly, not losing my spirituality. Spirituality is just me doing something that I'm truly heart-led by. And I don't sacrifice these things just because it's easy. You know?
And the Alex Visions. What do you want the legacy of Alex Visions to be? Is there something that you want to show the world, that you want to leave the world with?
I think the greatest legacy is, of course, doing something beyond yourself. And that's what I'm doing now. It's more like not the thing, but the feeling that people have after you left. People just want to feel. Like when you think about your mom, you don't think about the dinner she cooked one day at spaghetti. Maybe you will. But you think about the feeling that she gave you. And that's what everybody is attracted to. It's how people make you feel. And most importantly, how people help you come back to yourself. If there's a product that helps you regain your self-presence, self-awareness, that person leaves an imprint on you. The mom, like my mom always believed in me. When I was young, I played guitar for my first time. She was like, wow, you're amazing. My dad is like, that's the power of truly being yourself. Like yourself, you have power to influence everybody based on how connected you are with how you actually make people feel.
Mm-hmm. You still play guitar?
Every day, I'm really good now.
Nice.
That's the power of people believing in you.
Mm-hmm.
When you have people that believe in you, you can excel so far because that belief sets a vibrational energy that you can now be at. Because you have it. If everybody around you is doubting you, you start doubting yourself, your projects. That's what's very powerful, to just be silent about some projects for a little bit until they're released and people say, wow, that's a good one. Versus the first time I had Keyblock, I came to my dad. I was on a run with him. The first day I had the idea, the first thing he did is start sharing his failed business attempts with something similar in Bluetooth space. How he had the old charger for Apple, and then Apple comes up with the USB-C or the Lightning, and his whole business crashed. That startup that he had. And I was very careful. I said, Dad, never tell me about things that don't work out. I don't need that energy. And my mom, I talked to my mom and she said, this is the best idea ever.
Mm.
It's going to blow up. You're going to be amazing at it. It's going to help so many people. That's the power of the seed. Who you give your seed to, that idea is going to be reflective of how it grows. You keep surrounding yourself with people that believe in you. All of a sudden, that idea gets magnitude, energy.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely. And then I can imagine then you want to pass that energy over to then your kids and all of the stuff you're learning and amalgamating now to then pass on to the younger you. That's sort of what I feel like. Everything I'm learning, experiencing business-wise or spiritually or whatever is all for passing down and helping someone, or then helping the younger version or a kid and then helping them, seeing them grow, basically. Is that sort of a similar perspective you would have?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm myself. That's all I want to make sure I do.
Yes.
You know, I have a question for you. What are you afraid of?
Perhaps not being enough. Not because I feel like I have such an amazing opportunity, such an amazing, like all the cards were given to me, or I feel like with the mindset, with the time that we're in, with my upbringing, the position, unfortunately, and everything, like it's like the stars have aligned, right? And I want to make something amazing out of it. And I feel like we're on this planet for such a split second. How do we maximize that? And actually thinking about it right now, there's the fear of death. Because otherwise, if I was not going to die, then I wouldn't have this irrational fear. So I guess everything does stem back from death. You're right about that.
What if you don't live to your fullest potential? How would that feel for you? How would that look like in your life?
If I don't live to my fullest potential, I think it will just be a missed opportunity. It's like that, you know, that sinking feeling in your stomach when you just missed that opportunity. You could have done it. And also, like, for example, someone's said this analogy before, but imagine you're standing at the gates of heaven. You've done your life. And then God or the overseer says, this was your life. But then imagine this was your life if you committed yourself. And you're looking back at it and like, damn, I could have done all of that kind of stuff. So that's the position I don't want to be in. And I want to have looked back at my life, or looked back at the amount of people I've impacted, and rest assured that I've left the world in a better place than when I found it.
And if you could have one saying that you would repeat on a daily basis to ensure that you actually get to that ultimate potential, what would that phrase or saying be? That you could recite day by day.
I give immense amounts of value. People flow to me in abundance. Or I give immense amounts of value. People.
Start from the scratch again. Start from your heart.
I guess it's just I leave the world in a better place than I found it. I leave the world in a better place than I found it. I leave the world in a better place than I found it.
That's a strong one. Good.
What's yours?
I'm here today to serve humanity, to serve something beyond myself. I'm given a gift to live one more day, alive in this body. To use it as a vessel and make sure that this vessel is healthy, vibrant, and glowing so much that other people also begin to realize the power they have within.
What would you say is your biggest fear?
Right now, in this stage of life, is making the wrong decision. I'm confronted with a very difficult decision right now. Is to stay in Bali and build Keyblock, or go do ayahuasca next month with my parents. And I've never shared this with anybody. But I came to Bali 3 months ago with the desire to build this product, to make it a success. And my parents are going to have their first retreat in Portugal. The shamans, they're flying him over. A lot of my followers came as well because I shared about the retreat. And I'm not going to be there. I'm going to miss out. And there's a deep sinking feeling about that decision that I'm taking to stay here. And the fear is around, what if am I making the wrong decision? And the rational mind has so many ideas to go. Go, don't go, go, don't go. But I always look for the signs. And I look outside and I try to take pieces away. Because life feels heavy because there's too much. This person, this opportunity, this situation. All of them together create something that feels very heavy. And my constant practice is to take away, what is actually the trigger that's making me feel this way? And I took them apart and I realized that if I removed one piece from the equation, my girlfriend that's going to be there, do I still want to go? Not really. What if I just remove my parents, just the girlfriend? Do I want to go? Not really. If I put them together, do I want to go? Yeah. So are these things important by themselves? Enough for me to go? No. Me being here in Bali, is this important? Hell yeah. I have to make the decision based on segmenting and picking the energy I want to focus on, the long-term energy. And that's the powerful thing about plant medicine is you can zoom out enough to understand what you actually want in this stage of life. Not what your life purpose is, what the chapter purpose is. We have chapters in our life where we need to focus on certain things. Learning, building businesses, becoming financially stable, having a family, leaving a legacy. I'm at building right now. I've done my healing too. It's time to build. And that's very clear for me. So that's what I make the decision based on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and do you fear death?
Oh no.
No?
No, what? Death? I can control death. Why do I fear something I don't control? If I fear something I cannot control, I'm giving away my power to something that is going to happen no matter what. It's better to use my power to acknowledge what I can't control, to give me energy and motivation, but yet still focus on the things I can control. That's the only point of life. To use this game while I have it. To use my hands while I have them. To use my full breath while I get one. That's power. Being powerful is controlling what you can control and giving away everything outside of yourself up to God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any final words that you'd love to share?
If me and you died today, and I had final words to share, to leave with the younger generation.
I was literally just playing that clip back in my head.
If me and you died today, last thing. This life is a gift. And we are the guitar strings of the universe, playing the song of life through us. The universe is playing. And sometimes we play the song of life as the vessel, as the guitar. And we forget how to play the strings, how to play our notes. And death is the tuner of the guitar to help us be in tune with what truly life is, to play in our melody, in our chords. So when we understand that death is ultimately the thing, the guiding force of our existence, something that comes right before and after our life, inside we can realize that we're here to play, and all of it's a game. So you're free right now to play your game.
Amazing, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.